There is a book I have been told that is awesome book. China, what's the name of it?
The China Study.
The China Study. Very valuable book, which is all based on scientific literature, no hype, properly done research, it seems like. Fats, a couple of things to know about fats. Fats generally, there's a misbelief that they are always bad for you. Remember that fats, nuts for example, have certain kind of fats in it, and nuts have a certain kind of oil that helps to keep your heart and arteries free of any harmful deposits. And more specifically, the good oils are, fats are canola oil and olive oil. Here is the warning I want to give you, and that is a whole seminar on this. If I get a vote, if you guys are interested, I'll be happy to give you a seminar on that, about the GMO. Unfortunately, canola, which is one of the best oils, is also the one which has been genetically engineered. What is that company? Monsanto? Yeah. Watch out for that company. It's the same company that makes pesticides, the same company that genetically engineers these things. So, you know, watch out for cotton seed oil, corn, canola, and soy. I'm going to tell you soy is one of those miracle foods that you should use, and you should use it as long as you can find out that it's no GMO. And that's a big complicated issue, how to be always sure that you're not eating GMO food. And it's a whole new seminar. I can give you ideas what to watch out for. Let me give you 2 or 3 quick ideas. One is, if you find a no GMO label, which you rarely find, of course, I mean, somebody's not going to falsify. It's not genetically modified food. If you take a piece of fruit, apple and orange or a banana, look at the label. If the label has 4 digits number on it, it's conventionally grown or could be organic. It's good for you. If you see 5 digits on it, if it starts with 8, the 5 digits is genetically engineered. If it starts with 9, you are okay. But it's not a guarantee though. That increases 80% chance that you are looking at the right, not genetically engineered. Because remember, because of the vastness of the produce and the shipping, they have to use numbering system, label. This is their secret code. United States is the only Western country in the world where FDA and the government and the politicians and the rich people and the corporation, they are all in each other's pocket, and they will not allow labeling, because they know that if you do surveys, 50 to 55% people say they won't eat those if they knew. So these companies are going to go bankrupt. Therefore, they have enough power and lobby with the government that they will not allow to label. They are already labeling in Europe everywhere, because in Europe food supplements and much better regulated. Here in the United States, because you know, whenever you think of the wealthy people doing a huge deception to the public, think of 3 things. Tobacco companies, for 50 years, they fooled everybody because they have the power, the wherewithal, the money, the media, that they can misinform 99% of the population and make you believe. They will force you to believe what they want you to believe. Because you, me, you know who are we? We are public. They call us public. We are consumers. We are not people. We are not American citizens. We are consumers. When they have indoor meetings, they talk about the riff-raff. 299 million people out of the 300 million in the United States, they are treated like the riff-raff. The public is stupid. Public doesn't know anything. They will believe what you make them believe. When they have indoor meetings, they are like, hey, you know, there's too many doctors, too many people talking about tobacco causes cancer. So, well, what do we do about it? Indoor meetings, they say, no problem. We got the money. We own the media. We own the newspapers. We own the legal system. We own the judges, the lawyers. It's not a problem. We're going to disseminate information out there and put a doubt in everybody's mind. That's what the tobacco companies did for 50 years. They did it so successfully, they fooled everybody. Same thing, the global warming. Who was here in the global warming seminar? They did exactly the same. I gave you the names of people, a handful of people can fool 300 million people. Isn't that amazing? That's the power of money. Healthcare industry, same issue. This one company has enough power with the Congress to go there. For every one congressman, every senator, there are 4 lobbyists. They constantly remind the senator how much money they gave him for the election. So it's a payback time. So politicians are all about, I'll pay you back when I get elected. This is not to be cynical or say that every human being born on this planet is corrupt. There are good doctors. There are some good lawyers, some, maybe very few. There are good people out there, small fraction. So tobacco companies successfully did it until they prolonged it as long as they could, until they could no longer do that. Same thing, global warming. Oil companies. They have already done it successfully for 20, 30 years. They will continue to do that for another 10, 15, until they can no longer. When the public opinion changes so much, they no longer can do that. With the healthcare industry still goes on. Same exact thing. Can anyone tell me why is it such a big deal to label? If you're genetically engineered, just tell me. Give me a choice to eat it or not to eat it. Don't deceive the public. Maybe there are some people who want to eat your genetically engineered foods. And why I keep on saying it's a whole different seminar, because if you are interested, I'll go into the science. Even though it was science behind it, how to genetically engineer, why it did not work, what actually happens when you replace a gene, what has happened, how did those mutations ended up in your gut. First in the plants, and then you eat plants, and then eventually, what is genetic? It's really a virus that you replace. Virus is a piece of DNA. I don't want to get distracted. I really need to focus. So let me go back. So as long as soya and these fats and canola, you know it's not genetically engineered, though these are among the best foods that you can eat. Because they can reduce your blood cholesterol levels, and they have many, many other benefits, and they're good for heart disease. Keep your arteries clean. Sweets, the best thing to do always small amounts. Dark chocolate, we know it's good for you, and there's no really bad side to dark chocolate because it has it does have a lot of calories, but it's a good source of antioxidant. So I just want you to keep in mind, so you don't have to deprive yourself always of all the sweets. In small amounts, is okay. Now let's move on to, otherwise we will never finish. Actually, I think I was planning to start with this, so the seminar is just starting and the time is over. If you want, we can continue this and make a second seminar out of that. It's up to you guys. But I think we already put out there, the one in December is on mind, body. So let's keep it. Once the flyer goes out, it's good not to change. But if you're interested, we can continue this. Now, 10 disease-fighting foods. I designed it this way, so it's just very simple and easy, so you don't forget. If I throw all kind of stupid information at you, how many calories the carrot has, it's going to be like a fog, and nothing will make sense. So I'm going to just shoot at you. Whole grains. Look for what words you look for at the labels. Don't worry about the rest. And I find it difficult that any company will just put a whole. It will be criminal to put whole there if it's not. So you have to have some faith. They can't completely lie to you. Look for the word whole. That takes care of tons of problems. So you're going to look for breads, pastas, everything that says the word whole on it. Generally speaking, each serving should have at least 3 grams of fiber, or could be 5, could be 8 or 10 or 15. That's okay, up to that. More than that, you can really, that can be too much fiber. Second group of foods, keep in mind, is fish. But it's important to know a couple of things, that you're always going to eat broiled or baked or grilled fish better than fried. Do not ever eat fried fish. And I can give you the names of a few: salmon, tuna, trout, herring, and sardines. Do not eat any other fish outside this group. They have omega-3 fatty acids, and we're going to talk over and over again about omega-3 fatty acids. Because, sorry? Would you repeat those? Salmon, tuna, I hate tuna, by the way, trout, herring, and sardines. It doesn't mean that tuna is not good. Again, same thing. If I start to eat, maybe I'll start to love it. It's all conditioned. Taste is conditioned. It lowers your bad cholesterol, LDL. It raises your good cholesterol. You're going to hear over and over again in this seminar about cholesterol. How many things, like I can't even count, that bring down your cholesterol. Why the hell you need to take that medication for cholesterol that damage your liver? You have to do blood tests every 3 months to check your liver enzymes. You're going to be listening to this ad nauseum. You're going to start throwing up. We're going to food after food, supplement after supplement, nutrient. I'm going to tell you, they bring you down your cholesterol, and they have done studies and they prove that that's what it does. So, so what else? See, one of the things we are finding lately, that a lot of the diseases that we thought we didn't understand the mechanism, now we know that they are actually an inflammatory disease, from asthma to arthritis to immune diseases to Alzheimer's. We thought there's a deposit of amyloid in the brain, but actually the problem process is inflammation, high cholesterol, heart disease. These are all inflammatory disease. And omega-3 acids dramatically reduce the risk of anti-inflammatory chronic illnesses. Walnuts and almonds is the next. Now, if you forget everything, again, let's simplify it. Just eat 2. I'm just simplifying. I'm not saying others are bad. Almonds and walnuts, I put examples over there. Again, you have to be careful. They are not engineered or anything. These are gotten from Whole Food store in Santa Clarita. You can have some cashews and little peanuts, enjoy life. But if you focus on these 2, they are loaded with nutrients. They have everything that you ever need. Is there any dark side to these nuts? There's only one small dark side. That is, they're high in calories. If you addicted to it, you filling up your mouth, then you have a weight problem. So just watch out for that. Otherwise, there is everything about these 2 is positive. Like I said, they are loaded with phosphorus, zinc, copper, iron, potassium, vitamin E. They have plant-based omega-3 fatty acids. They have vitamin E, calcium, riboflavins. They have everything that your body needs. Again, they lower your cholesterol and bring up your good cholesterol, reduce the risk of heart attacks. How much you eat? Ideally, just remember in number 20 almonds and 25, 2 halves of the walnut. That's a serving, and that's every day. If you miss a day, that's fine, but this is giving you all the nutrients deficiency that cause all kind of problems. This is really equivalent of eating 1 ounce of meat in terms of protein. Next category, legumes, and I can't emphasize this enough. If you go to what is legumes? Basically lentils, all kind of, I don't care if they're yellow lentils or green lentils or beans, black eye beans, or blue lentils. If you go to a health food store at Santa Clarita, they have laid out 10-15 different kinds. You can pretty much eat any one of them because they are loaded with protein. They are such a good